Amazing. Barrister Mbeseha, this is where I'd like to come. Um, the president said something, as you would link it. He said something during his responding to a question. He says he understands that those who are actually like Cameroon committing these crimes against humanity of on Amazonia have diplomatic relations with Brazil. But then he feels that decent politics should be that in spite of your relationship, somebody could stand up for justice for the oppressed. So I'm cueing you in there so that you know what to talk to the Brazilian public that's listening to you right now.
Yeah, thank you, Paddy, and thank the president for saying what he said. We're talking about Rwanda. He said genocide is genocide. But what was Rwanda known to be genocide? It was because the Hutus were turned against the Tutsis. These are the two groups that identified themselves there. And curiously enough, the Tutsis and the Hutus were not in the same lane with us. The Tutsis and the Hutus, they live together. They speak the same language, Kirundi, but they identify themselves as a people. So genocide is killing a people for whom they are. The Tutsis and the Hutus identify themselves just by their physical features, not by language. I was surprised. I thought there were two different groups talking different languages, live together. Until I got to Burundi, I realized that they're speaking the same language. They live together. But you know who is a Tutsi or Hutu by their mere physical features. And so the law of genocide, which says that, shh, get out, which says that genocide is killing a people for who they are, is the law. In our own case, we know it is properly defined, it is properly explained. What is happening to us since 2016 is purely genocide. Why? Because when Yaoundé goes to bomb a village, it is not bombing the village because they have done anything, it's bombing the village because they are Anglophones, they call it. People who speak a different language, people who identify themselves with a different culture. So genocide fits squarely there. I don't care who is the author. If France participated, I don't know. But genocide has been committed. If France cautioned it, or any other government will come to light. But the people who committed the genocide, who are part of the filing that were put at the ICC, are individual Francophone Cameroonians. They are ministers. They are not French people. And so, if at the end of the day they have to call on France to come and help them, so be it. And as the president says in his speech, as reported by you, he said, a genocide perpetrators cannot escape unpunished. But the victims are sometimes so weak that they are not going to be able to enforce the laws of genocide against genocide. They need international partners. Because genocide is a well recognized crime, these international partners include countries who are already members of the United Nations, who are members of the ICC. Because take away the ICC, there are still jurisdictions there that can handle under the United Nations genocide. And so when the president talks to Brazil about that, he reminds them that, for example, the African embassy there, they are reading these reports. Brazil might not prosecute them, but there'll be evidence there. That is that makes people to think that why is this thing going unpunished? And so friendly countries, including Brazil, and in most cases, the majority of countries at the United Nations should raise the issue there without fear or favor. Because, as it is said, it is never too late to prosecute genocide. The crimes against humanity and genocide are imprescriptible. They remain on you, hanging on you until you die. And so that's what the president is saying. And I think that message is passing to other countries around the world and most importantly, countries represented in Yaoundé by their embassies. So it is genocide, no matter from where it comes from. If it is cautioned by France, that be it. The perpetrators, the active perpetrators, if they think that they have defense, pointing to France or the other international organization that supported them, they will do it. I remember, I don't know how France got so involved there, because Rwanda was a Belgian protectorate. They were like us. They were like us. They were a trust territory that was handed to Belgium to administer along with Burundi. And so, how the French got there, I don't know. But that is not an excuse. We know that we know the people who can point their hands for shooting, for giving the orders. None of those people is French. And so let us consider holding them accountable. And if it is important, I think it is, let the Brazilians that the president was addressing as our friend help us bring these people to book. The chips will fall where they belong if they are indicted. If the defense of Bangui is that it was ordered by France or by the United States or by any other foreign government, let them bring it there. We caught them red-handed. They confessed to it in their own words, in their own documents. And so I think the president did a good job to remind Brazil, if you are truly a friend, help us get out of this mess by carrying on your own international obligations, which is prosecuting genocide perpetrators, because it's not allowed. I think the president of Rwanda has sought to stop that thing in Rwanda. The first thing he did when he came to power was to abolish the distinction between Tutsi and Hutu. You don't talk that in that country. You don't talk about it in Rwanda. You just abolish that language distinction between Tutsi and Hutu. And of course, they abandoned the French, which they inherited not from France, they inherited the French from Belgium. Today, the official language is English. And so, but that is not the issue. The issue is all our friends, those who sympathize with us, to see in need to hold these people accountable, the perpetrators of genocide.